video discuss today's full moon in Gemini. My name is Kyrie Anthony, also known as the Hood Mystic. You can go ahead and Google that if you're not familiar with my work. Today, we're going to be talking about this full moon that's taking place today, what it means, what it represents. And before we get into that, I just want to bring people to the link in the description, which will be a link to my Substack account, and there in that link to my Substack account will be an article, a full article about today's conversation. Now, you can read the article, that would be great. But another thing I want to alert you to is that if you download the first PDF for free 99, you'll get a worksheet to chart your houses. Why is this so important? Because you will know what house this full moon is in. So, Gemini is in my ninth house. This is my house of travel, my house of higher learning, my house of alchemy to a certain degree. So, I'm a ninth house Gemini. My moon is in Gemini. So this energy means a lot to me in reference to what I do for a living and how I live my life. I know what area this is happening in my chart simply through filling out a free 99 PDF that all you have to do is go to Substack, that's free. Click the PDF, that's free, and you will have a worksheet that you can use forever. You can print it or you can just follow along with it and just write it out in your journal. Give me a second. The second worksheet would be a full moon reflection and release worksheet, which will help you deal with the waning moon. As a spiritualist, the most powerful time for me, hands down, is a waning moon. If I needed money, them 14 days of a waxing moon, I felt like my energy was blocked. The world is against me. Illuminati, CIA, fight, fight, fight. But then when the waning moon come, it's like the money just come to me so easy. I'm just all happy and shit. And it's like I really work with this waning moon energy. I drink more water. I try to lose more weight, try to fast more, just release, 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 release. If you utilize these 14 days to release, you don't have to worry about much. But this is why we study the moon, because generally people just live every day one way of living and they never adjust. But if you study the moon, you understand that there's 14 days of waxing, 14 days of intention setting. Then you have 14 days of waning, 14 days of releasing and reflection. Family, all you got to do, go to the Substack, click the link in my bio, or not the link in my bio, click the link on the article, get this full moon reflection and release worksheet, journal about how you feel, journal about what you're ready to let go of, journal about how you want to feel. What's so crazy about life is, and the main part of this conversation, this full moon, is like the full moon in materialism or the full moon in spirituality. And if you feel like materialism is the way to go, then I feel you, right? You got a Tesla, you got a nice house, you just doing a damn thing. But at a certain point, you probably think, man, I got this electrical car. Why don't I get me like a Toyota? Then you get you a Toyota, you like, damn, I don't got nothing that's really luxury. So you get a Cadillac. And then you think like, man, I need an SUV for the family. So you get an Escalade. And you just never really satisfied with that. And that's the nature of materialism. You need more to actually be satisfied. With spirituality, what you need is wisdom. What you need is know how. Having the ability to know is much more, I would say, advantageous in this world because it's so profound. Because I don't want to go through the article or nothing. I want y'all to read the article, get into the article, understand the mathematics of the full moon. But I want to talk about Azaka, right? Because I'm a spiritual type of dude, and this energy is so potent and so powerful. I just want to take a little bit of time to alert y'all to the links in my description. Download the worksheets, figure out where this energy is at in your chart, do a full moon reflection, do a full moon release, work with this waning moon energy, and be right with it. Right? Very simple, simple stuff. Now I want to talk about something that resonates with me in reference to this particular energy, and it is the energy of Azaka. Back in the days, I used to have Orishas of the full moon, Orisha of the new moon. This is the Orisha of the full moon in Gemini, Azaka. And this is the Orisha of wisdom, man. This symbolism is so powerful because he is standing on barren land. And all he has is the wisdom of development. That's all he has. And when you look at the world today, when you look at this picture, it looks exactly like the LA fires. And it's like a lot of people is like, oh, my house is gone. When there is, I don't even want to lie to y'all. In January of 2024, there were at least 187,084 people in the state of California. 200,000 people. I grew up in Canton, Ohio. Well, I grew up in Akron, Ohio for my youth, and then for my like development years from like 14 to 19, I grew up in Canton, Ohio. And I only say that to say there was 100,000 people that lived in Canton, give or take, maybe 80,000. 180,000 people in California are homeless, and we never even batted an eye, ladies and gentlemen. That's the truth and the reality of it. So when you look at the world today, I feel sorry for whatever people is going through. Like, I do have empathy and I'm willing to help anybody at any point in time. But at the same time, we got to be real here. People are actually suffering and been suffering ever since we've ever existed. And we've never been able to specifically help the the people who are in the upper classes, the upward mobile black people. They still suffer, and they have always suffered. And our goal was to at least be upward mobile so we can save our motherfucking self. Because who is the savior for the homeless people in California before the fires? Because Tesla wasn't providing housing and vehicles and water to the 200,000 people, close to 2,100 people in California before the fires. Now, was he? And you got to really think about this particular energy and this particular life. So when I see the energy of Azaka and I see the ways that we living in the world now, I feel like, damn, we need to have some form of come to Jesus moment. Like, it is a point in time where we'll all have a conversation and we'll talk about how white supremacy really fucked us over. We'll talk about how we was in this materialism, how we was in this individualistic culture, and we'll talk about how we damn near lost our motherfucking minds in the 20th and 21st century. We'll talk about it when we're in our tribes, when we're really in the age of Aquarius, when we're all communal and we're all on the same page. But as of right now, we're still in the age of Pisces. We're still in this individualistic, dog eat dog, make or break type of world. So the energy of Azaka will show up when he is needed, when there is no more homes to lavish in, when people are trying to scratch their heads and figure out their next move because they felt like the insurance that they paid on the house was going to save them. Come to find out, the insurance was like, hey, not my problem. That's just not my problem. And now we just sitting here like, oh, damn, what we going to do? When you get down on your ass, you go to the spirit. Because whenever somebody got some gray A cheeks after getting a reading from me, they never followed through. Like, hey, man, thanks for that reading, man. Really came through. Found my wife yesterday, hood. They only come to you when they on their ass and they down and out and they need some direction or they need some help. That's the nature of the spirit. But collectively, the materialism holds people up. It makes people think that they're okay because they have money and they have a home. But when you say, do you understand quantum entanglement? Do you understand that the past, present, and future is in this moment right now? Do you understand that the past isn't real? Do you understand that the future isn't real? There's only this moment. This moment is perpetual, and you stayed in this moment from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime. That's why you don't remember anything. That's why you can't fully envision the future, because right now is where it's at. All of the wisdom, all of the knowledge is within you right now. But when you're full of emotions, when you're full of thoughts, you have ego and arrogance, and it plays a role in your life. It's called crashing the fuck out. So when you tired of crashing out, you get to this point of the 10 of swords, the 10 of air, which represents Azaka, the country cousin who keeps the nation's wealth in a simple straw bag and whose wisdom is won in a battle against the dry and unforgiving soil. Here, survival is pursued by hoe and feet. However, such grounding with earth creates a knowledge of its less obvious gifts, and scarcity breeds a sharp eye. What I'm reading and what I'm talking about is, how do you get to truth? This is the beauty of spirituality, because the materialist is completely sure of itself. The spiritualist is only a wolf in sheep's clothing because they secretly desire to be a hype beast. They just can't. They might just not know how. So they're utilizing the spiritual to become a materialist. However, all of this is not scarcity. It's very good. One's in the chat if the niggas got the aesthetics down pat. One's in the chat if the aesthetics, niggas got the aesthetics down pack. You seeing the lighting, the purple and blue lights with the microphones and the filters and the skin glistening. We have the aesthetics and the knowledge, A1, definitive, impeccable graphics, artificial intelligence. But none of this is actual knowledge, because none of this is representing scarcity. See, scarcity breeds a sharp eye. Scarcity teaches you about agriculture. Scarcity teaches you that. Listen to how ill it is. Niggas is dead ass going to the goddamn grocery store. Nobody is figuring out how to garden. It's a few motherfuckers, few people on Facebook. We all got them friends that we went to high school with that do the gardening. If you know 10 girls, one of them is doing gardening. The rest of them is going to Kroger's. Let's just keep it real. Why? Because scarcity breeds a sharp eye. Not being able to go to Kroger's. Kroger's does not enforce you to learn about the soil. Having a nice home, having your money together does not teach you how to have a sharp eye. It does not teach you how to have the right abilities. It teaches you how to want more things. That's what it teaches you. It teaches you to pursue more things. So, like I said, I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time. Azaka is the divine creator's minister of agriculture. He is the Loa of earth, the simple cousin to the peasants that work the earth, and the patron to farmers. He is a hardworking Loa that helps them carry on the heavy burden of hard labor. He dresses in blue denim with a red scarf around his neck and a woven straw bag over his shoulders, wearing a straw hat. He smokes a pipe and carries a machete. Since he and Getty are brothers, he has the same ravenous appetites and tends to devour food during his possessions. He is likened to the voodoo Pan, as his sexual appetites are the strong, making him perhaps a bit appetent and maybe even crass, but always full of germinating life force. So, what is this talking about? It is talking about this full moon being conjunct Mars and understanding sexual energy versus long term planning and long term understanding. These are all metaphors for how do you go about life. Are you sexually dominated, or are you trying to figure out how to make it out of your matrix? Because when you are a spiritual person, you are a part of the lower class. You are part of the underclass. You are not a rich person that has it all figured out when you are a spiritual person. So the energies and the entities are to help you succeed and win the game. The reality is you think you're rich and you think you have it figured out. Therefore, you are in a form of delusion and you are tied in and tapped into your sexual appetite. It's some men that cannot stop masturbating. There are some men that are addicted to porn. They have to deal with it every single day. Because if you have enough money, you could get you a girl. You can marry somebody. If you have the right family, you can figure it out. But when you don't got nothing and you don't know nothing, you are in the lower forms of consciousness that are going to devour you. It's going to eat you alive. And because you need a salvation, you find it in the earth energies. You find it in the agriculture. You find it in this particular point in time of life when there is nothing. What creates nothing? Greed, individuality. These are sicknesses that most people suffer from, but they do it anyways. It is people look down on people that do heroin when they have their own individual lives. They're addicted to their own individual lives. And if you ever thought about ever coming together with somebody, you it's like you either got to know people or you don't know anybody. And if you know people, you got to hope that they fuck with you within this small grouping of people. And if you are on the outside looking in, you have to deal with this spiritual stuff because you don't have anything else. Because the rich people, they never going to come knock on your door and say, Charmaine, you want to come with us? Ezekiel, you want to ride with us real quick? This is why niggas pray for an athlete. This is why niggas pray for to be a musician, to get a record deal, to do something, to make some money, to get out of their situation, because this shit is generational. If your parents didn't pass you nothing down, then you ain't got nothing. Because this world have been moving and grooving for billions of years in the way that they trick, the way that this system is set up. You could either be delusional or you could be tapped into the earth. You could be tapped into something that is greater than you. And so this is why we take the herbs. This is why we do the psychedelics, because we need it. We need something other than human beings lying to us about how they want to help us. So getting deeper into it. With his early wisdom, Azaka is the master of herbs and could do much with little. This is the nature of it. And for the people that got it all figured out, this conversation ain't for you. The people that got hundreds and thousands and millions of dollars and can't do nothing for themselves or can't do nothing for nobody else, but they got it though. This world, this world is a coming and a going. Our biggest blessing is to transition out the body. That's why every human being does it. If being rich was a blessing and we were followers of the most high, we were the followers of a spiritual being or a spiritual intelligence, then everybody would be riding in the car that they want to ride in. Everybody would have trillions of dollars. But the blessing is not in the finance or the fiat currency. The blessing is in the transition or the understanding of the spiritual realms. Materialism is like a box to the spiritual realms. This is why in your nice homes, you drink tea. You sleep on a nice, comfortable bed. You go on ayahuasca trips. You go to India and try to do yoga and try to figure out how to develop a spiritual understanding of yourself, because there is more to this reality. That materialism, the encodings of reality is not tied into materialism. It's in nature. It's in the earth. That's where the wisdom is at. It's in the ability to listen to the birds chirp and the winds in the leaves. This is what we've done for so many centuries, so many different lifetimes. And to think that it's normal to live in an apartment, to live in a house, to drive in a car, to be isolated, to not be in a community-based understanding is insanity. You can't be a good or crazy. You can't be a better crazy. You can't be, okay, this is the next level of crazy that I'm going to reach to. Crazy is crazy is crazy. So what we and it's all in the statistics, it's all in the ADHD, it's all in the attention deficit order, it's all in the depression, it's all in the bipolar. You actually would think that if we were carefully integrated into nature, we were in tune with the creator, we were taught exactly what this place was from people that knew exactly what this place was. We had shamanistic practices that, and we were able to love, we were able to be supported by our community, that we would be in these horrible mental states. You gotta be fucking kidding me if you think that. There's a reason that there are untouched tribes and they do everything in their power to stay untouched. They do not want none of this Western shit. They want to be left the fuck alone. You got to think about how crazy it is that they never will ever assimilate to this Western culture. They'll never need nothing that the Western mind could ever produce. They don't want nothing to do with it. And the fact that our ancestors are only the way that they are because they chose to be indoctrinated and enslaved instead of dead. Because before the indoctrination, before the enslavement, we were voodooists. We were spiritualists. We were in tune with the nature. This is in your DNA. This is in your blood. This is part of society before society was a thing. This is part of culture before culture was a thing. It is nature. It is Azaka. It is the natural order of things. Societies come, societies go, but the platform that society rests upon is nature. Azaka is a master of herbs and can do much with little. His health clinic rests in a straw bag where his medical equipment forms in his hand. Hence his legacy as the hoodoo root doctor who possesses a vast body of magical practice, the majority of which centers around healing. Azaka, Azaka upholds the web of kinship trace that ties back to the land, to those who sow it and lie within it. On Earth, I'm gonna skip a little bit. On Earth, conditions change, sometimes overnight, and the crop can be laid to waste. But that doesn't stop the determined farmer who knows that life may be a crapshoot and one must still throw the dice. So, what does this mean? In life, you win, lose, draw, but in this moment, in this energy, in reference to this full moon, I would pray and hope that you feel a sense of renewal, a sense of rebirth, a sense to try the fuck again in reference to what is more conducive to my overall success. Because I've tried this and this didn't work. I've tried that and that didn't work. What should I do? I would say try yourself, understand yourself, do the work to understand who you are as a spiritual being, because who you understand yourself to be as an ego, as the child of your parents, is not who you are. Your parents are the vehicle. That's like if you bought a Toyota and you changed your last name to Toyota and you did everything that the Toyota family did just because you bought the car. At a certain point, you would say, damn, I don't even know who I am no more. And that would be facts. Who you are is a spiritual being, and what is required is shadow work. What is required is you to, and this is an energy where you are following your spirit and following your soul and being led and being guided and having an inner motivation. If you do not do the work to be inner motivated, a lot of you are grown ass people simply doing what your family expected you to do. One's in the chat if you understand that concept. A lot of girls are just a person that their mom and dad expected them to be. A lot of men are just the man that their mom and dad expected them to be. And that's all they are. So when we talk about shadow work and the purpose of it, think about the points and times of your life when you really wanted to do something and you didn't because you was influenced and forced to do something else. Now you a grown ass person and can't tell left from right. The work that is within shadow work is very intense. That's why it's the shadow work intensive, and it is the work that you must do for yourself. So all I can do is give you the worksheets, the diagrams, the concepts. If you're not really caring about who you truly are, that's just on you. But when you think about the psychology of the average everyday American, they are not led inwardly. And this is why we are eating bullshit at the grocery stores. If you were led inwardly, you would not go to Kroger's and buy meat. You would at least go to the butcher or somewhere where you know they got quality meat. You can't tell me that these big grocery stores is doing quality meat. And I'm just saying eating meat at all. Because if you was inwardly led to eat meat, I'm pretty sure you would be wanting to, kidnap a squirrel and sink your teeth into a squirrel and just go crazy on a squirrel because you want to eat meat. And you would eat the meat raw because you love meat so much. But all of these things that I'm saying, they should disgust you. And if meat disgusts you, then you are not a carnivore. You have been conditioned to eat meat. And once you become inwardly led, when you become inwardly led, it's a simple conclusion of life. Where are you going to get protein from? Chickpeas, legumes, things of that nature. You can Google it. But what I'm saying is, you know that this world is changing, and more people are becoming inwardly led. Because when I was a young boy, there was no such thing as a vegan restaurant or a vegetarian option. But the more people become inwardly led, they begin to demand and want these types of things when they're going on road trips. I'm in goddamn Detroit, and if I want to go from here to there, it better be some vegetarian options, right? And this is why the business and commerce have changed. Let's open up a vegetarian restaurant because a lot of people are vegetarians. Why? Because a lot of people are becoming inwardly led. Is the system perfect? No. Is being a vegetarian mean that you perfect? No. But it got to be something within the psychology of human beings to want to start living naturally. You know, without a fact, when you put on polyester, something just ain't right about that shit. You start doing the due diligence. Oh shit, I should only be wearing cotton or linen. You inwardly led, and you make decisions. This is the nature of human beings. However, what I'm saying is very rare to human beings. Most people are doing things based upon the external understanding of life. General consensus, majority rules, winners and losers. None of this speaks to spiritual and psychological development. And I'm talking to the person that can hear this and understand this. You need to understand your ability to understand yourself. And if you don't understand yourself, then you don't really understand shit. And there's a lot of pressure, there's a lot of misunderstanding that's taking place in reference to you and everybody else. And until you get clear on you like being a people pleaser or showing up for people or being what people expect you to do, none of this is intuitive to what you should actually be doing in the first damn place. If you scale back to the grand scheme of life, you'll see people doing things to and fro in every city, every town, people just going places and doing things. At a certain point, you need to just stop and deal with that internal knowledge, that internal energy. And how this full moon really reflects on me is that this is a full moon in sidereal Gemini. The fact that it's a sidereal Gemini, my moon is in sidereal Gemini. And what this actually represents is somebody that is focused on healing every single day. And people who have known me for years, they'll tell you I'm the same way I was then, the same way I am now. I'm serious about this spiritual shit. When people want to talk to me about other shit, I don't care. I'm balls to the wall, pause, all the way down with the spiritual life. And I don't care what happens on the earthly material realms. That's the difference between me and I feel other spiritualists. I feel like at the end of the day, and y'all can correct me in one's in the chat, if these spiritual niggas, they about they coins at the end of the day. They trying to squeeze niggas for every single dollar. And that's just how they gonna give it up because they spirit said that they deserve top dollar. And who am I to judge? Right? Who am I to judge? But at the same time, we have to understand the wisdom of the situation. We have to understand the wisdom of life. Money is not wisdom. Money can't help you in every single situation that you find yourself in. And when you become inwardly guided, you start doing the due diligence on money. People want money, and then you ask them, "What's money? What's fiat currency? What's fiat currency? What's fiat currency? Y'all want money, but then be like, what is it? Fiat money is a government issue currency that is not backed by a commodity such as gold. Is the US dollar a fiat currency? Yes, the US dollar is a fiat currency. Fiat currency is a type of money legal tender because a government says it is, not because it is backed by a physical commodity like gold. Do y'all really see what's in the chat if y'all see when you inwardly guided, you can't be spiritual and be talking about the dollar because your soul is going to tell you, you know, the dollar ain't real, right? You know, the dollar is just what the government say it is, right? Well, what if the government say it ain't worth shit? Then it ain't worth shit. And we want to be spiritual and we want to squeeze every dollar out of the coin. Hey, do your thing. I ain't mad at you. Shout out to Tupac. Been really feeling that nigga, man. That nigga's one of the greatest, man. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I used to hate on Pac. I sit back and really listen to this nigga. It all started when Kendrick Lamar was like, I ain't rapping for the lyrics. I'm rapping just so you can feel it. And a light bulb clicked on because he said he trying to be like Pac. Then I listened because I'm a lyrical guy. I like lyrics. I like bars. I like witty. You know what I'm saying? So Pac wasn't never doing it for me, but I understand his magic now. His magic is hard. Like he man, Pac cold, man. Don't sleep on that Pac. Like you got some straight up bangers. But I ain't mad at you. Keep thinking that the dollar is real. Keep working hard. Imagine you working hard every day of your life for something that's not real. Doing it because the government say it is, and they say slavery happened in 1857. Hey man, I can't do it. I can't work for niggas, man. I will have to figure it out, man. Like every day I work hard to try and figure it out. I support those that support me. People have supported me for years. I appreciate everything that the family community has ever did. That's why I work so hard. That's why free PDFs, nigga, free PDFs. Go to the link in the description. Get the free PDF, full moon reflection and release worksheet. That when you how do you pay the hood mystic? When you go fill out a chart worksheet and you know what sign your Gemini is in. And you understand the house meaning of it. So when you say, I got a full moon in Gemini, it's taking place in my seventh house. So therefore, I gotta kind of focus in on my partnerships and my marriages and my one-on-one relationships, my business relationships, things of that nature. I want to know what that's how you pay me by doing the work. Because if you do the work and you get into some form of alignment, I'm pretty sure you're gonna be a millionaire one day. You're gonna kick me a little 10 rackies just for spiritual guidance. I'm pretty sure I can count on you, right? You get your shit together in 2025, you become a multi-deca millionaire, you shoot me 10 rackies. You know what I'm saying? You got your chart in order. Oh, you said this full moon happened in my second household, my house of finances. All right, I'm gonna put everything on Pepe. Pepe go hyperbolic. Shoot me 10 rackies. And I appreciate y'all though. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. Like I said, just wanted to do a quick video for the family on the full moon. Been busy doing the shadow work intensive. It's still going on. You can still sign up. Each week is at a prorated cost. So, you know what I'm saying? Plus, you'll get the recordings, the workbooks, everything. You just won't be able to take part in the lives or the readings, but you'll get access to the Wednesday class hours where everything is going down. So, be sure to click the link in the description to see the Shadow Work Intensive bundle. Class next week, Shadow Work in Relationships. That should be a good one. But all of it, 2 hour lectures, workbooks, journals, real good time. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying, people take it seriously, willing to do their work, willing to do that shadow work, you know what I'm saying? Because I can't do it for you. Same way I can't wipe your own ass unless you paying me. You know what I'm saying? How much are you offering? And I'll accept or decline. Anyways, article, link in the description, PDFs so you can get your journal on for the full moon. Make sure you do the waning moon exercises. Very beneficial. Detox, water fasting, all of this stuff makes life so much easier. Don't be a Western minded person. You are lunar people, you are melanated people. Melanin is ruled by the moon, your pineal gland. In reference to the waning moon, it affects you at a greater level. Just release all tension, release all burdens, release all energies that don't align with where you're trying to go. Throw out old furniture. You go and get you filing taxes next week. Ashe. I fill mines out in Sidereal, but it's no right or wrong way to fill it out in reference to what you are. If your chart is in tropical and that's how you give it up, then you should do your sheet in tropical. It's just ambidextrous. If you want to do it in sidereal, you can do it in sidereal. But if you do it in tropical, you know what I'm saying, it's all about what resonates with you, what's easier for you to understand. And like they say, a broken clock is right at least 2 times a day. And all I mean by that is at least 2 times a year, the sidereal and the tropical have the same energies. Like it's always going to be a time where it's going to be a full moon in Cancer in tropical and a full moon in Cancer in sidereal. So that's what I mean by that. Otherwise, hope y'all have a good day. Have a good full moon. You know me. It's time to hit that gym, get that workout in, because I'm coming for y'all. Never mind. I'll see y'all in the next video. But I hope to go live with the initiates tonight. Talk that sass with the guys. So stay tuned for that. Appreciate all y'all support. Now check y'all